Welcome to Element Pods, where we start the conversation of how God is moving in your life.
Hello, it's good to be here with you today, and we have a real special treat. We have Stephanie Olson here to share with us some of her wisdom in an area that I feel like she may not like that I say this, but I'm going to say she is an expert in the area. And Stephanie, what I'd like you to do first is to explain your organization, Set Me Free Project.
Yes.
And just explain that a little bit, and then we'll jump into today's content.
You bet. The Set Me Free Project is all about prevention education on the dangers of sex trafficking and social media safety. And we started about 5 years ago when we saw a lot of great things happening in Nebraska in the area of trafficking, but mostly on the victim service side. And what we realized is Nebraska's a hotspot. We are right in it, and it's our kids that are the target. And so that's really how we were born.
So that is great to hear you say that. It's great and it's sad at the same time. Like the fact that we are a hotspot, and us being in student ministry, our heart is for to bring truth and hope to the next generation.
Absolutely.
And so part of that is equipping parents.
Mm-hmm.
And so today, I want you to just take an opportunity to speak to how you have seen parenting change. I'm 42. I've got kids that are 19, 17, and 14. It sounds like yours are very close in the same age.
Yes.
So we know that parenting has changed. We're in the midst of it. What would you say that people need to know? You need to wake up. Parenting has changed.
Yeah, it really has. I think back in the day, parents had to know where their kids were at all times, but that was in the real world. And today we've added the cyber world. And so not only do our kids have access to our local community, people around us, but globally. And so they have access to them, but more importantly, people have access to our kids. And so parents really do need to know how to help their kids safely navigate social media. We're in a different ballgame completely.
So you and I were raised in a generation where it was like we took off on our bikes in the summer, and parents maybe did or didn't know where we were physically.
Exactly.
Our parents go, "Hey, where are you headed?" "I'm going to go fish for the day with Jacob." "Great, be back at this time." There's very general stuff, but now not only do we have the pressure of physical location, what I hear you saying is as a parent, I need to be aware of my child's digital location.
Yes.
Which is so scary because I grew up in Omaha, and there were child predators when I was raised coming through Omaha that were in the news. Had to be like they would be aware of one person, look out for this kind of car, this kind of behavior. But now all of a sudden, it's like it's different
everywhere.
because it's digital.
It is. And I think that is the scary thing. It can kind of be the good thing too. I think back in the day, everybody was worried about the white van. And I think we are still worried about the white van driving by and getting our kids. I've got to know where my kids are at all times and see them. And although stuff like that can happen, that's not the real concern. And with social media now, you can see where your kids are at all times just by holding their phone or whatever it may be. But it really does take a lot of time and a lot of diligence to go through and find everything you might need to find. And it takes some knowledge. You have to know how to do that. So that is a challenge. But not only are we no longer looking for the white van and worried about our kids in that way, but predators are not kidnapping our kids. That's not the concern. They're building relationships with our kids. And now they have a tool where they can build relationships with our kids without us even knowing it.
Man, that like hearing that, because I think of things with my children's digital life. Like I've set up parameters. Apple won't give me any cred for saying this. That's what I love about Apple products are the safety things that they have set up parentally.
They have a very good system.
Gosh.
Yes.
And so, there may be a whole different podcast that I'll do just on, setting that kind of stuff up. So we need to wake up to the fact that it may not be the white van. It's and they're trying to build friendships and relationships, and on the
Right.
surface they look innocent or they look good.
Very
and
innocent.
and all of that. So what else would you say? I'm hearing you get into this. You kind of scratch the surface of this, Stephanie. You said we need to become learners. Like we can't give that up. You can't be passive with this. What would
Right.
you want to say? Parents, wake up. You need to be learners.
Yeah.
What would you want to say to that?
I would say that it is really easy in this day and age to give up. It's easy to say, okay, I can't handle all this. I don't need to know all this. Go take your phone in your room and have at it. And that is the worst thing we can do. And I think there are a lot of resources out there that parents can grab a hold of, but it really does take a lot of time. It takes a lot of intentionality, and that is hard.
Yeah.
Parents are busy today. We're all very busy, but we really do have to just make the choice that our kids are our obligation. And it's not about, we want to raise them to be amazing followers of Christ. We want to raise them to be amazing people, but we also want to raise them to be alive.
Yeah.
And so we need to make sure that they are doing what they need to do to be safe as well.
And that's that other wake-up call.
Right.
Of going, hey, it's not just about raising a good kid. You need to wake up because the number of children that are being driven to cyberbullying,
Right.
Driving people to suicide, like all of the loneliness that is, and we'll get into that when we have an opportunity to talk about social media, but
Right.
that is a real thing. It's not fake.
It's
it
huge.
exists.
It's huge.
So, well, hey, thank you so much for being here, for talking about this stuff specifically. I know that this won't provide all the answers for a parent, but we're going to have some links for people to click through to get some resources.
Yes.
Find their way to Set Me Free Project, because we understand that you guys are going to be developing some resources for parents to basically click and become learners.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it.
We've already started the
Yeah.
process, and we've got great resources on our website, but we're going to go the next level and make sure parents have stuff.
Let's take advantage of this digital stuff that
Yeah.
might be destroying
Let's make
our
it
kids,
good.
and let's make a good thing out of it, right?
Yes.
So thank you so much for joining us, and glad to have you back soon.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for tuning in to Element Pods. Make sure you subscribe to this feed for future conversations about God at work in your life.